Now let's see what the hell I was doing. Oh, I was in deep conversation. Oh yeah. Killed the dragon. Lost my souls. Okay, I can't beat that guy. So I'm just gonna progress. We're going to try to listen to the same podcast. Again, yes.
Tall, lanky. I don't know.
At the
It
same
doesn't.
point,
Looking back, it
was
doesn't seem like anything special just from the appearance of
where I
him.
turned it off.
I think it's more so the story around the Slender Man and the mythos that the creator kind of conjured up. So
Ah, shit.
the Slender Man started on something awful internet forums, which was I never used it. Did you guys use it?
I went on there occasionally, yeah. That was a hotspot for some of the biggest, most influential memes of the day.
Like what?
Something Awful's where like a ton of shit started. Like,
Yeah, that's where like meme culture kicked off.
I never went there, but I'm pretty sure.
let me see. Yeah, they started that entire trend of like that Reddit format they ran into the ground with like the bad luck Brian type shit. They did like all of that. It seems that started on Something Awful. But they also made some of like the big videos like Uwe Boll fought someone from Something Awful. He used to insult his movies.
No,
Like
yeah.
that was a huge site.
So was it the most popular social media site at the time in terms of like internet forums?
I would say so, probably.
So it was like a precursor to Reddit almost. What was the other Reddit before Reddit? It was like
Dig.
Dig. Yeah. So it was like Dig and Something Awful, and that was like the late 2000s.
Yeah, well, no, it was mid 2000s because like
Yeah,
the
true,
Uwe
mid
Boll
2000s.
fight with the Something Awful guy was 2006.
Yeah. I never used Something Awful. I never even came across it. I don't know, it mustn't have been a thing that was common over here in Australia. The internet forum that I used the most during that time period was the Bungie.net forum. I was a Halo player. There was a sub-forum on there called The Flood, and I would hang out there all the fucking time and just shit posts and stuff like that. And I think that's probably where I came across Slender Man, honestly. So shout out to the Bungie.net forum.
Before there was any, like title or prestige attached to it, Jackson was doing it for the love of the game on the Bungie.net forums.
You joke? Oh my god, this is unlocking like an old memory. I actually had like a pinned thread there, like the moderators pinned the thread, and I would just like review internet myths. There was like a collection of internet myths that I would. I think that's what started the YouTube series actually, or the
Oh
YouTube
my
series, as in
word.
2 videos. Holy shit, that's a deep cut memory. Anyway, shout out to the Bungie.net forum. That's something.
I'll say, I'm pretty sure I'm the youngest out of everyone on this podcast. I was like, I never went on like Something Awful forums, but I watched YouTube a lot, and they would talk about stuff from like Something Awful. So that's the only experience I have with it.
Yeah, I've definitely heard about it now, but not. I'd never visited it back then, so I don't really know what the vibe was then. It does seem from the comments that I had read.
Guess I'll try to kill this
for
guy.
research of this video. It does seem like the vibe was mostly like Reddit tier stuff,
Yeah.
which was like you hear something like a forum called Something Awful. I was thinking like 4chan going in, but no, it's like the most Reddit tier stuff possible, and pretty cool what I can see. Anyway, so on the Something Awful internet forums, a thread was created titled Photoshop Contest, and users were tasked with creating paranormal images. So like just a Photoshop competition who could create the scariest images, basically. Many users would submit photos, but none would be talked about as much as those created by a man by the name of Eric Rees. On June 10th, 2009, Eric posted on the Victor Surge. Is that a Pokemon reference? Victor
Probably.
Surge.
Surge is just a cool sounding word.
I swear one of the gym leaders in like Pokemon.
Lieutenant Surge.
Yeah, Lieutenant Surge. Is the first name? Victor Surge would post 2 images along with descriptions.
Can you get frostbited already?
Photoshop thread. So the first image we have here is like a bunch of children walking towards the camera with a Slender Man
Damn it.
saying that the quote that he posted
Oh, I'm
on
dead.
this was, quote, "We didn't want to go, we didn't want to kill them, but his persistent silence and outstretched arms horrified and comforted us at the same time." 1983 photograph of super dead. So that's the very first image. I don't know where he would have got this photo from. Do you think he hired a bunch of people for this Photoshop competition?
No, this is probably something that's like in a yearbook or something.
Yeah. And he just takes the image, puts Slender Man in the background, which for one is all that it needs to be for an internet legend to kick off. At least, you know, back then on the internet. Like, it's good, it's effective, the little caption gives an idea of some punch and presence that makes you a photographer. It puts enough pieces in place for people's imagination to run.
I was surprised going back and learning about this Oregon that it kind of spread even after having been created in a thread called Photoshop contest. Like that immediately removes all the history, like for kids wanting to believe that Slender Man is real. Like it was very
Well, you don't think about it that hard. It's like, oh, story. And that's enough.
Well, also you don't see that it was part of
Yep.
the Photoshop contest when you started posting it elsewhere.
yeah, which is what happened to me. But then if I had have done any kind of like finding the origins of it, I would have seen that it was created in a Photoshop contest, and that would have removed everything. Like all of your stories, Isaiah, that you were talking about, like the what was it, Ted the cave diver, or what it was called?
Chet the Caver, yeah.
Yeah, caver. Like there's it wasn't created in like a subreddit about like creepy writing, like 2 sentence
No,
horror or
Ted the
something.
Caver was an Angel Fire story that like he made his own blog about to get that across. So no, it wasn't like the same kind of format.
Yeah, there was like some air of, I guess, believability if you
Yeah,
wanted to believe it. Whereas if it was made in like a creative writing class and then advertised as such, it would have lost all of its kind of impact, I think. So yeah, I'm just surprised that it kind of had this impact even after having been created in the Photoshop contest thread. And then the very next image he posted in the same thread is another image of children in a park playing around, having a good time, and in the back, Slender Man's hanging out again with like squid tentacles hanging off his arms. Never really understood the whole tentacle element of Slender Man, but he has them. He's like a gene spliced octopus. Cool dude. Does he have hair there?
No. Wait. Which photo are you looking at? The one in the mirror or the one at the park?
At the park. with
No,
the
he
kids on
doesn't
the
have it. I mean,
slide.
it's too vague to tell. I think it's still supposed to be just a blank face and talking.
Yeah, maybe. Anyway, the quote for that one is, "One of 2 recovered photographs from the Sterling City Library blaze, notable for being taken the day which 14 children vanished for what is referred to as the Slender Man. Deformities cited as cultural defects in the library, and 1 week later, actual photograph confiscated as evidence." 1986, photographer Mary Thomas, missing since June 13th, 1986. So Slender Man's even well for the photographers. He's leaving no one behind.
The game almost crashed there.
But he was seen. The photos still
Well,
found
but you
their way.
tried not to be.
I guess. So already, Slender Man's kind of, not Slender Man, Victor Surge is kind of creating this mythos around these images, and that's what kind of separated it from all the other shit that was posted in the Photoshop contest.
Yeah.
I went through that original thread, and some of the other images were cool, but they didn't have the story to go along with it, which is what I think propelled Slender Man beyond all those other things.
Users would start to get positive feedback to the photos. With one user stating, "This is going to give me nightmares."
What a fucking loser.
This is what I mean by Reddit tier comments. It's like, you were in a fucking thread about Photoshop, it being a Photoshop contest. I don't understand how you
Oh,
can
fuck.
say this is gonna be
If I'm trying to use
Can't
square
give you
off, but I
updates
don't
for
have
this
it.
one. It's 2 spooks.
Kids are like, he's right behind me, isn't he? A few hours later, Eric would make another comment, playing into the story and acting like Slender Man is a real entity. "Maybe I'll do some more research. I've heard there may be a couple more legit Slender Man photographs out there. I'll post them if I find them. Victor Surge."
Yeah, so Victor's doing all the hard work work. He's going out there, going to libraries, local libraries, collecting photos. I don't know. It's just a cute story that he's constructing, I guess, at this point. Like,
I
people
broke
won't
him.
believe it.
I knew about the previous two pictures. I actually haven't seen this one. So it's the picture of like someone taking a flash in front of a mirror with Slender Man standing over their shoulder. And it says, the next photo was posted by Victor Surge onto the Something Awful forums, was a picture of an ornate mirror in a dimly lit mansion. Three women are seen taking a flash photo of the mirror, and the image captures a peculiar looking man looming behind them. The picture was accompanied by writing that would go on to paint a story about the picture's origins. On 5/24/1995, it says, 1994 Wilkes Estate. One subject reported nothing out of the ordinary before taking photograph. Lower stairs area was said to be very dark. Subject states that after the camera flash, she heard a sound like a watermelon being unable to understand subject.
I
What?
don't know what that means.
Well, I don't know what
Heard
that
a
means.
sound like a watermelon.
Yeah, well, it's the Slender Man character. What was the guy that like smashes watermelons? Gallagher, right?
Yeah.
He just
Okay. I don't know what that means. Maybe it means someone's head got bashed or something. I don't know.
Maybe he just like has. Well, oh, because maybe.
You mean the guy that
tentacles.
smashes watermelons on pianos?
maybe.
Oh. Interesting
Gross.
theory.
Anyway.
My flowers reach my surface. My underpride and the cuddles around the clock, causing pop-up disc.
Yeah.
5/25 of 93. Subject unable to recall events after Manor power failure. Unable to question other two identified subjects. Camera and film acquired from Gloria Cruz, current resident of Woodview Mental Hospital and Psychological Rehabilitation Clinic. Film mostly uncontaminated despite massive damage
fuck.
and tissue present on the camera.
I
No
really
possible
need to get
ID
something
on
other than
Loveless,
Golden
Tall,
Vow.
and slender subject. Facial blur caused by possible contamination.
You mean we didn't find a match in the database of convicted criminals for the Slender Man?
Didn't find any fingerprints on it.
Those damn tentacles.
So that's interesting. The people who took the picture wound up in a mental hospital. Then after that, on 6/7/93, it says, early digital analysis indicates tall subjects may have no eyes. Anomalies, previously thought to be film errors and flash artifacts, now thought to be appendages.
Wait, so they had that photo for like a month, and then it took them a month to figure out that he may have no eyes just by eyeballing it and looking at the photo in that 1 month period of time? That's all
They're
they
not
came up
very
with?
good at what they do, to be fair. They never claim to be.
And then 3 days later, it says final identified subject reported missing along with other 33 patients and staff of Woodview Mental Hospital and Psychological Rehabilitation Clinic South Wing. So basically, Slender's kidnapping the people that saw him and all those associated.
Oh, okay, so the government's doing this?
No, I
apparently?
think it's the idea that
No, it's
Slender's
Slender
doing
Man.
it. Yeah.
Oh, so
Why would the government be taking away Slender Man, inciting people?
they do too much. I don't know. They're working for the Slender Man. Regardless, that's a high kill count for Slender Man. 33 people in one sitting.
That is a lot. Going on,
Yep.
it says, unlike other posters contributing to the overall Photoshop competition, Victor Surge wasn't just posting edited photos, he was attempting to tell a story. Others are describing what they did to their photos. But when Eric is talking about the photos, he acts as if they are real. He dug these out of archives. He's looking through evidence, he's looking through reports. This made his post stand out and make people want more, and more would come. On the same day of June the 11th, 2009, he posted 2 more photos with no descriptions, but one would be different. So we see here the one of Slender Man just outside of a window. I've seen this image before.
Yeah, that one's a very popular one.
Yeah.
It's so dumb.
I mean,
It is outrageously stupid.
it is outrageously stupid he'd be that close, but I get how this works in the mythos, that there's like paranoia and stuff. Look, I'm trying to be a defender of Slender Man, okay?
Oh, I love Slender Man. Slender Man's always gonna have a special place.
You've
in my
got the
heart,
guy
but
standing in the window with a rifle, thinks he
Yeah,
sees
that's what I was just
something
laughing at. He's
outside.
got a hunting rifle. What's Slender Man gonna do against that?
And then after that, we have what seems to be a police department report, but where the stuff's supposed to be filled out, it's mostly scribbled. We see the scribbling Slenderman, kill us already, kill us, kill us, kill us. Wilkes Place, which is that house, right, that the picture was taken.
the mansion. Yeah.
And then there is a note from 6/11/93, which is the day after the people released from the asylum, where it says fog rolled in 3 p.m. Here 3:27. Mark and Evan went outside, couldn't cover them, fog too thick. Screams and sounds like a baby laughing, but deeper.
That's a
I am
throwback. That's like a throwback to the Goatman episode.
That's
where
that I
said,
fucking
what was it, like
committed to the
goat bleeding
broadsword.
behind you on the bridge?
Yeah.
I don't like the broadswords R2s.
Okay, I would
They
be
take
more
too
afraid
long.
of a baby crying in the woods than I would a goat.
Well, that'd be more concerning than a goat for sure, because a baby shouldn't be there. But it's also still not a concerning sound if the baby's laughing. It's like, oh, okay, that's cool, I guess.
Someone's having fun at it.
Yeah, it's a party.
I do want to hear what a baby would sound like deep though, like a deep voice.
They just sound like one of us laughing.
That sounds baby laugh, yeah.
They hear voice critical laughing in the woods behind them.
Yeah, that was.
It's out in the fog. We may be a little outside of town, but someone will come.
Oh no.
And then 2 days
See?
later, the rest of us
Golden Vow just
can't
got me
sleep,
fucked over
no
again.
Food, no power, and then 1 day later, what does it want? Tom showed me that
Weird.
weird case file. There you go.
Yeah, it's written legibly down below. I like transcribed it. Well, not so much the next one.
Oh, I didn't see that you were. I was trying to read all of that
You
off
were
the
trying to-
note. I didn't see you had it typed out. Oh, that would have been better. Okay.
You did well. I
Thank
didn't
you.
realize you weren't reading from it until just then.
And then 1 day later, it says Wilkes Place, and then it's scribbled out after
yeah.
that. So again, the house that all this is supposedly happening at.
Well, it says like Wilkes Place and then same. So I think he's saying like the
What
thing
was
from
I-
Wilkes
The
Place
same
is the same
creature.
thing as this.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's doing it like a Redditor would though. Slenderman, kill us already. Kill us. Kill, kill, kill. Okay, so they're getting edgy with it.
Yeah, so after that, after the note, it says the scribblings on the document seem to be from the perspective of police officers serving and protecting the community in this made-up world Victor Surge was creating. The note even mentions Wilkes Place, calling back to the previous post Eric made and showing an overarching connecting story and environment. The photo of the man looking out the window and seeing Slenderman could be taken from within the department. That's a good point. You can see some obvious inspiration in Eric's story, with one being Stephen King's The Mist, which Eric would go on to confirm in an interview later on. Oh, that's interesting. Wow, that's cool. Those were both like really important stories to me as a kid, so it's cool that they inspired each other.
Oh god.
These images were highly effective.
Oh, God.
with something
I don't
awful-
think. I don't think Stephen King's The Mist was inspired by Slenderman.
No, it was a
No, okay.
mutually symbiotic relationship.
Okay, correct. One was inspired off the other. Thank you. Not that Stephen King read Slenderman. It was like, there's some good ideas in here.
Yeah. I like what they're doing with The Mist.
These images were highly effective, with the user Zombie Scholar commenting, "You're an amazing and terrible bastard, sir." But that is the most well played. That is the most Reddit phrase.
That
You
is-
are an amazing and terrible bastard, sir. Well played.
Just take your upshoots and go, my good sir.
Now they look over my shoulder every couple seconds for the rest of my day.
Oh my god.
Why are these images of this guy with a hunting rifle looking at a like cartoonish figure outside, making you like paranoid for the rest
Look,
of your
they
day? You're
did
in
have
a
a lot
fucking
to go
thread called
off of.
contest, Photoshop contest. Goddammit!
They didn't have a lot to work with, okay? Like, you had to take what scares you could. The next day on June 12, 2009, Eric would post more images. And these are all, again, more world-building stuff. We have children's drawings. Then next to Slenderman, one shows, I think, his tentacles covered in blood. Jake, age 7. Jake's the one making this picture.
I think Jake's the one that drew it, or maybe Slenderman drew it. I'm not sure. Oh no, Jake's.
I think
down
Jake
bottom
drew
right.
it, but maybe
yeah,
he
yeah.
watched another kid get killed by the tentacles.
Oh, true. Yeah.
And then there's a birthday party invitation for Jake that says it's Saturday, May 18th, which is before the events of all this stuff going down in June.
I believe, by the way, that's a Triceratops silhouette. So if that has anything to do with the story, if
Thank
that's
you
the case.
for that. Thank you for inserting your dinosaur special interest.
He's an ancient entity dating all the way back to the Paleolithic era.
that Triceratops was the Slender Man's first victim.
Yeah, not many people know that Slenderman is a Triceratops, actually. There's a picture of like an adult with some kids. Looks like maybe a birthday party or like park setting. I don't know.
Did you notice Slender Man in the background of that picture though?
I didn't actually.
Look behind the
I
trees.
just glazed by that one. Yeah, never. Yeah, you can see him in the trees back there. You can see his suit. Yeah, he looks way too
Yeah.
close here. He looks way like anyone would be like, "Hey, you, what are you doing?"
Who's that tall
Yeah.
suited guy
Get
sitting
out.
behind the trees?
There's a
Yeah.
little drawing from Rebecca where she portrays the same thing, and then there's a newspaper report that says a local boy, an 8-year-old boy named Jake Greenwood, which I imagine is the same Jake from the pictures, has disappeared. So those are the 6 extra pictures that were dumped
Yep.
the next day.
Yep.
Man.
So the story I took.
I've
from
never
this,
beat
and
these
I'm not
guys.
sure- it's up for interpretation. That's the great thing about art. You can blame any kind of.
Why do
interpretation
that
from
when
it.
you can just
My
run?
interpretation was that Slender Man kind of created a relationship with Jake, and Jake was drawing pictures of him, and then Jake had a birthday party, and Slender Man abducted him shortly after his birthday party, or even at his birthday party, since he's there at the birthday party, and then started haunting a girl named Rebecca, who would then draw Slender Man as well. So it's like,
I think you immediately read way too deep into it. So
Okay,
I
what
think
is it?
it's pretty clear. Slender Man found Jake, abducted Jake, and Jake just drew pictures about that. And that birthday party invitation was like the evidence left behind. And then Rebecca just happened to see Slender Man while she was out on a walk with her mom.
wait, so Jake got abducted and then Slender Man gave him a piece of paper to draw on?
Yeah, so that's one of the things about Slender Man that got established is he doesn't necessarily kill them, he just kidnaps them. And they're like their own little family unit.
Yeah, but they don't come back. Oh, right.
Yeah, they don't
so
come
they're
back, but
Well, then how do we
might
get the
have-
photos?
He must have left them in the forest or something, and someone
You
stumbled
have to
upon
find
them.
the pages. They're on the trees. Come on,
Oh,
Jackson. This is
true. Yeah,
basic
like the video
lore
game.
world building. What are you talking about?
Yeah. No, I still think
You're-
I'm right.
Yours is stupid. Why would he form a relationship with Jake at his birthday party?
Look, he's behind the trees. He was clearly there at the birthday party.
To abduct kids.
Oh god.
It's not like he's invited and he was like the friend.
I never said he was invited. I just said he formed a relationship. No, I said that he formed a relationship with someone before the birthday party is when he abducted.
Oh my fucking god.
I just don't know why they have to know each other. He just kidnaps kids.
Well, he clearly. Well, okay. He clearly knows. They know each other because Jake's been drawing pictures of him, right?
Post abduction.
Yeah, but it's Alright. I guess both are possible. He's not right. So let me read the newspaper. Another reporter seen him playing in the trees in his backyard prior to his disappearance, and noticed nothing suspicious. So would that be the same trees that he's standing behind in the party picture?
Yeah, there's also only 2 of them, so it's not like he'd be playing behind the trees and not being seen. Like you can see everywhere. It's the whole sight of the trees.
It's also in like the middle of a row of houses as well. Like,
Yeah.
He's completely exposed to someone's front yard.
yeah. I mean, anyone walking by can see someone taking
Huh.
So that
But-
came along with a description from Victor Surge saying, alert, deployment request. Anti-S walking unit to deploy to Wichita, Kansas, which is where the abduction happened. So they have an anti-Slender Man walking unit, I suppose, in the government.
So it's like an SUV.
Yeah, it's kind of becoming a theme in this. There was a giant body set up to handle Slender Man. So, do you want to continue?
So this is kind of just like stuff here.
Yeah, so basic description of the photos, we talked about that. After these photos were posted, almost everyone was talking about some random crazy images. Focus up the Photoshop contest.
I'm dead.
So, one user would say, this entire series of images is fabulous. This one is a killer. Purely because all the kids I work with never just like this. It's very plausible detail and adds the extra touch of authenticity.
So that's referring to the picture
Yeah.
that Rebecca drew. So Victor Surge is quite good at replicating the art style of a child, apparently.
Yeah. Thank you, Victor. Later in the day, on June the 12th of 2009, Eric would post 2 more photos. This one I've seen a ton. The one of him like on stilts, like tentacle stilts in the woods.
Yeah. Oh, so that's what he does with his tentacles. He uses them to walk around while he like hovers in the air.
Yeah, it's like the anchor arms from SpongeBob, but with like 4 tendrils.
Living like Larry. The caption for it said Steinman Woods. It said both subjects were hunting in the Steinman Woods below sundown. Surviving subject states that while hunting, both men grew uneasy as fog levels rapidly increased. A constant murmuring sound accompanied by a low hum eventually became apparent to the 2 men an hour after the fog increased. An object falling out of the tree struck one of the men in the left shoulder, causing him to discharge his weapon. Object said to be the body of a man of unknown age. It was very precisely dissected with major... Wait, hold on. An object fell out of a tree, and then it turns out the object was a body. Okay, I see.
A piece of a body.
A piece of a body, okay. It was very precisely dissected, with major internal organs still contained within the rib cage in what looked to be clear bags. Surviving subjects placed organ bag within backpack. Attack followed several minutes later after a low children's laugh, like a giggle. Surviving subject ran until he reached his vehicle. Subject then drove to assumed safety.
Okay, so the whole children's like laughter and stuff. So that like adds credence to the theory that he's kidnapping kids and keeping them alive, and they're just like haunting with him. They're like part of his posse, right? That's the theory.
It's not a theory, that's just his lore, yeah.
That he brings kids with him, maybe.
Right. Yeah.
Or possesses them in some way. But what's with the dissection? Is that implying that like Slender dissects people and puts their organs in bags?
Yeah, well there is in the very next
Okay, alright.
description they talk about it, yeah.
Okay, so after that, it says that the backpack was...
Spoken echoes of Queen Marika linger here as well. Shall I share them with you? In Marika's own words, I declare mine intent to search the depths of the Golden Order through understanding of the proper way. Our faith, our grace is increased. Those blissful early days of blind belief are long past. My comrades, why must ye falter?
Give that a try. Wait, hold up. I think it's pretty old.
Destroyed, talking about the organs, and that the surviving subject is classified as a B7 witness. B7 witness to be placed in a quarantine blind box until resolution, whatever that
So
means.
the government is kidnapping people.
I mean, people who have like witnessed Slender, but the government didn't kidnap the wing of 33 people.
Unless they witnessed it. Why would they
Okay,
not?
maybe, but I don't think that's what the implication is.
Okay. The implication is that Slender Man kidnapped them. But
Yeah,
they weren't even
yeah.
children. He's only kidnapping children, isn't he?
Yeah, but
Or is
he went after someone who saw him previously at the house.
Yeah.
And then into the other picture in the woods, again of him like stood up, looking very spider-like in the trees. It says 2007, investigation team discovered 22 bodies of both genders and various ages impaled on broken tree branches in a radiating circle pattern with chest mutilation as often noted with Slenderman. Upon confirmation, lead investigator redacted called for an immediate evacuation of investigation team at 1700 hours. Bodies first discovered at 1100 hours. Deadline for safe evacuation of team with only viewed physical evidence of Slenderman approximately 1730. Lost contact of team at 1725.
Damn.
Safety procedures fell well within established protocols. Reason for abnormality is unknown. Second team recovered camera equipment 1 week later. Slenderman's safety procedure required this incident's physical photographic evidence to be disposed of by no later than 10:20. Is this your writing the next part? I honestly don't.
What is this?
Okay.
This is him. So okay. Remember, Victor Surge is a character that is like
Finding all
researching
this,
stuff.
Oh,
so
right.
then he comments on.
Oh my god.
So Victor Surge says, honestly don't get what half this poo-poo means. I'm
Why
I'm
did you
done with
immediately
this.
assume that I wrote that?
Yeah.
I was like, this doesn't seem like a field report. The next line.
Yeah, there's no investigator who's gonna be like, man, this poo-poo is getting me," and then smokes a cigar.
There's no Jackson that would say that either.
There's plenty of times I can hear you saying like, oh man, this is all poo-poo and I don't get it.
I've never once said poo-poo. I've never once acted like that.
It's more likely you would say it than an investigator would say it, is all I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, it's more likely that Victor Surge said it because that's what happened. So.
Okay. I honestly don't get what half this poo-poo means. I'm done with this Slenderman stuff. It's starting to make me uneasy. It's like reading the GBS ghost story threads before I go to bed. Why do I have to look at all this stuff while it's super late? It's frowny face.
Yeah, that's the actual frowny face used in that in that message as well.
Luckily, my friend is coming over.
Aw, hope it's a
Aw.
good friend. It's gonna have a nice
Yeah.
ending. I'm
I
sure
mean,
this story.
I'm sure it will. Because right after that, it's written, in Eric's world, Slenderman is a known entity. There are procedures for when people encounter Slenderman. This adds more detail and color to the story and makes it seem like Slenderman is an active threat the public has to constantly be on the lookout for. The last part seems to come from Eric's point of view, with him commenting on his investigation. Finally, on June the 13th, 2009, Eric would post his last photo and description. I've never seen this one before.
I've seen this one. This one looks like an early AI generated photo.
It
like
actually
Mid-Journey.
does.
It does, yeah.
Pretty cool.
Huh. It's neat.
Huh.
It's, the caption for it says, for the audio
What?
listeners, it's like in a house, someone's running up a staircase, and then it's like a blurry Slenderman, but you can see like the impressions of the face, and he's reaching his hands out towards the camera. And it says, my
Yeah.
friend is Heragus? What?
Here, just.
Oh, my friend is here, just came in, barely made upstairs, got picture, locked door, but it's right there in the hall. Don't look at its pictures. It doesn't want to be known about. Don't look.
Well, then why'd you post them, you dick?
Idiot. Yeah. Keep it a secret.
No one look
Yeah,
at
what
these
the fuck?
pictures that I'm posting right here.
Close your eyes when viewing these photos.
That's gonna be your dying message, prick. It's me.
As user WWJabusto would go on to comment, oh, Jibbus, this one is giving me the willies. Oh, Jib.
Oh, hey. So,
See how these look.
ow.
We believe leading with care makes caring leaders, and after 150 years of advanced medicine, we believe that's why more nurses choose
God damn it.
on to something greater.
Oh, good to know I'm not any better at fighting this guy.
Oh, I love something awful, Buzz.
Oh man, I'm so glad
They're great.
we found Reddit to corral all these people in.
I thought Reddit was like a new thing. I thought the internet back in like 2009 or whatever this was, I think 2009, was so much cooler. But looking back, it's always
It is always 100%. That's just like one of those rose-tinted glasses things. Like people think the internet was different, like the attitude was different. But if you go back and read a bunch of old threads, it's the same goddamn Redditor attitude.
yeah. Oh Jeebus, this one is giving me like who says that?
Then it continues and says, usually subtle works best, but sometimes the blatant ones scare me more. I really want to read a Slender Man horror novel now, with pictures.
So he wants a picture book
Oh my god.
with pop-ups.
I don't know how to take the conclusion
Yeah.
here. The ending to this story does seem abrupt, but Eric has stated he wanted to end the story the way that it would be to scary. Responding to another poster, he said, "Yeah, I wanted the last set of images to be more obvious, since the people taking the pictures kind of knew what they were dealing with and therefore could get better shots before and I kind of wanted to bring it to
Why
a
did I
close.
think that would
Glad
finish him
everyone
off?
enjoyed it, although initially it hadn't been my intent to do more past the first picture post. What essentially inspired me was stuff like The Ring, since that pretty much terrified me. Having an unearthly creature such as a skinwalker or something stalking you is much scarier than a ghost, in my opinion.
Agreed. Agreed. Do you get the rake influence, Isaiah?
I'm actually kind of surprised because if you would have asked before we read this, I would have guessed that Slender Man was before the rake. So it's surprising to see that it's the other way around. It's interesting.
After this last post, everyone in the thread would continue to talk about the Slender Man within the context of the now newly born creepypasta that would go on to share with people who weren't familiar with something awful. The spirit of the Slender Man would continue on, with users creating their own photos of the entity and adding their own contributions to the lore. In many ways, Slender Man would be an extension to the budding realm of creepypasta storytelling elements that things like SCP Foundation cemented. It's undeniable, regardless, that Eric posting these photos would change internet creepypasta culture forever and inspire countless stories from others.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's kind of like the beginning of the Slender Man. That's what Victor Surge created for us. The entirety of his creation, his direct creation.
That's pretty fascinating. I didn't realize the original had that much lore attached to it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of like lore was included in these photos, but I was also surprised at how quickly it kind of happened. It was all in the span of like a day.
A week.
basically.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
No, it was like 4 days, right?
It was very quick. Yeah. Regardless.
The legend was born.
Yeah, so it just kind of spread out from there. Like people would take those photos and then post them on other internet forums without all of that kind of context or knowledge of where it came from. They'd be like, "Oh man, look at this creepy photo. Pretty scary, huh?" And then idiots like me who didn't know anything about Photoshop or knew that images could be edited would be like, "Holy shit, Slender Man is actually real. That's crazy." So that's how it kind of gained its popularity in general. And the proliferation would continue with a YouTube channel called Marble Hornets, which was created on June 19th, 2009. So that's very recent, well, very soon after Slender Man was actually created. And how do you want to explain and describe Marble Hornets?
Yeah, Marble Hornets was a classic for me. Got me into like early internet horror. Shortly after Eric's posting to Something Awful Forums, a YouTube channel called Marble Hornets was created on June 19th of 2009. This would be the first series to be created for Slender Man. This would also be a very early example of an alternate reality game, or ARG. The series would become extremely successful. The channel has garnered over 660,000 subs on YouTube and over 118 million views on the channel. Even early on, the channel would have success, as by August 28th of 2009, the channel had almost 2,000 subscribers and thousands of views. The series would end up receiving a spin-off series, a comic book series, and a spin-off film called Always Watching, a Marble Hornets story. This shows that early on,
It's like,
the
holy
concept
shit,
of
that
Slender
guy
Man was
just
intriguing
died.
to the public, and people wanted to see more.
So can you describe Marble Hornets? Since you probably were sure.
So basically, the idea behind Marble Hornets is that it was a guy who was like a college student who was originally trying to make a documentary but started to run into this figure, and he's never referred to as Slender Man. He's called it's
Watcher?
something
Or something
the
like that.
Watcher. It's something like the Architect or the
Oh yeah, the Architect, I think.
it's not the, I forget what he's called. I can look it up real quick, but basically it's our main character like chronicling Slender Man slowly getting closer to him, and how proxies of Slender Man are getting closer, and it's him saying he doesn't understand what this creature is. He goes to different places to try to discover it. It's a really interesting horror series, and honestly it works as both like a found footage film when you watch the whole thing together, and one of the earliest examples of like internet horror or like ARG stuff.
Yeah, it was very effective. I remember watching it at the time and being actually genuinely pretty scared watching it, which was fun. I'm trying to remember the name as well. I'm trying to look through it. The Operator?
That's it, the Operator. Yeah, that's what they called
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, and then they also did some really cool stuff like ARGs and stuff like that on a Cryptic Side channel that was called To the Ark. Stuff like that. It was a very fun series, and it was very popular, and it continued on for a while. It had over 130 episodes. Obviously, with something that long, it kind of, you know, lost its impact towards the end or whatever. It kind of dragged on a little bit, but still.
That's to be expected, though. It's
Yeah.
something that spans back time with the same subject there.
Yeah. But it was very effective for what it attempted to do.
And then even after that, you have in June 26th of 2012, the Slender Man 8 Pages game came out.
God
I mean,
fucking
as we all
damn
know,
it.
that's how I think I found people like Markiplier and PewDiePie and stuff like that. So
Yep.
yeah,
This game was massive. This game was talked about even outside of like the internet space. I remember in high school.
Yes.
This is where people were talking about like the scariest game ever made. Have you ever played Slender?
Yep.
It's like nothing else. And then it's based on this like entity that like captures children. It's a real story. So like it's spread by word of mouth like wildfire from this game.
Yeah, I remember in high school
Oh,
we used to all
fucking
play together. Like, we'd
Slender,
go
man.
home and we'd have like a hangout after school and like all take turns playing it and getting scared together and shit like that.
I consider it probably one of the worst horror games ever made because it spawned that entire genre of just go into just random asset flipped area and just find like trivial little fucking pieces of a scavenger hunt while getting jump scared occasionally. It's the worst format for horror that even to this day, 12 years later, games are emulating daily. Like that is still the most common horror genre, the most common horror game that gets pumped out in the genre.
Yeah, but did you like it at the time?
Yeah, of course, it was huge for the time, but looking back on it, I wish it just never got made, because that shit ruined horror games, like, forever.
Yeah, I think it's cool as a one and done kind of concept.
Yeah, no,
nice
it
slip-ups.
definitely was for its time.
Yeah, I think it holds a special place in my heart. Like even my mum was like, "Let's play Slender Man: The 8 Pages. I want to play that. That looks fun." So it was like a bonding experience for like the entire family. Really, it was kind of crazy the impact and reach that it had.
yeah.
From such a simple concept. And
Give
you can see
me
as well, like,
shit.
I've got a picture here of 3 of his friends. You can see the search term relevancy of Slender Man just fucking absolutely skyrocketing when the Slender Man the 8 page was released. Like it was enormous.
And it never left Slender, because it just put it in everyone's mind, so, like, you have written here as well. Like, Slender Man became a super common figure, like, in the early 2010s, there'd be a Halloween costume for Slender Man that was popular. There's references in media across everywhere, references to Slender Man. People didn't know this, but apparently some people speculate the Enderman character in Minecraft is actually based off Slender Man.
Yeah.
It's used in memes, like, he was just legitimately infiltrating every facet of internet life, and even outside of that. So then in 2018, this is what I want to talk about, they finally released the Slender Man horror film. It was directed by Sylvian White, written by David Burke, and it released August 10th, 2018, and was universally hated by everyone. It had a 16% score on Rotten Tomatoes, a 3.2 out of 10 on IMDb, and the film would come with controversy when the trailer for the film was released, as some thought it was inappropriate to release the film so soon after the well-known and publicized Slender Man stabbings. So I saw this film in theaters with Kaya, actually. This came out when you guys were still in town.
Why did I not go see it? Yeah. Oh, maybe I was fucking hungover from the poisoning that Kaya gave me.
No, you might have been too scared, potentially. You came down with a big case of...
Wait, no, yes, true, but I was probably at Disney World during that.
God, what,
Maybe.
so lame. Have you ever seen the movie Jackson?
No, I haven't.
You have to. So this film is an absolute disaster. I think it took like 4 or 5 years just to make it. Like it got caught in production hell. So that by the time it came out, that initial wave of absurd hype was gone. So it came out way too late. It was still rushed. Like nothing in the film worked well at all. It ruined a lot of like the core elements of the Slender Man story as well. It couldn't get even the established stuff correct. It wasn't scary. It was trash. Visually horrible. Everything that could go wrong with a horror movie went wrong with the Slender Man film. And I think that's what kind of buried Slender Man as like a scary figure in a lot of people's eyes. It made him more as just kind of like this tired joke that he kind of is today, where people look at Slender Man.
Yeah, that was the turning point for Slender Man, I think. And you're right, like, it was announced a few years before it released. You said 5 years? I'm not sure about that.
It was quite a few years. It wasn't like a quick turnaround or anything. This got stuck in a limbo of production.
Yes, 2014. No, wait, no. On January 2018, the first teaser post was revealed. I'm not sure. Regardless, when it was first announced, I remember like a lot of excitement for it. Like,
Hey, bud.
holy shit, this internet thing is being made into.
I killed your
a movie,
brother.
and it's awesome. And it has a big budget as well, $50 million US. Released by Sony, so it had big big production company behind it. Everything was expected to go well for it, and instead it fucking bombed. It released, and like Charlie said, it was a good movie from.
Damn.
And it made a box office. Oh wait, no, sorry, I got that the wrong way around. It didn't bomb. $28 million budget. The box office was $50 million. So it probably like broke even at the end of the day when you account for marketing and stuff like that. So that's not as bad as I thought.
No, I mean there were still curious enough people to go see it for sure.
But regardless, very bad movie.
Terrible movie. And what you referenced there at the end is there was controversy because not too long before that, the Slender Man stabbings happened, which is a real thing that happened on May 31st, 2014. I thought it was later than that. I didn't know it was in 2014. But in Wisconsin, 2 young girls named Morgan Geyser and Anissa Wire lured another girl by the name of Peyton Lutner into a local park called David's Park during a sleepover. They lured her there under the guise that they would be playing hide and seek. They were 12 years old at the time, and unknown to Peyton, Morgan and Anissa had different plans. Once there in the woods, the 2 girls would put Peyton to the ground, and Geyser would stab Peyton 19 times with a kitchen knife. The girls would leave her in the woods to die, but miraculously, Peyton wasn't fatally wounded. She would go on to crawl out of the woods onto a bike path where a passerby would find her and call for help. Peyton incredibly survived the attack and would go on to make a full recovery and end up leaving the hospital 7 days after the attack. 19 stabs and gets out of the hospital within a week. What a fucking champion.
The legend. I don't know how you survived 19 stab wounds.
Yeah, that's incredible. So, the 2 girls here, Morgan and Anissa, would be apprehended by the police, and when interrogated, they said they did it to please Slender Man. They wanted to become proxies of Slender Man and did the stabbing in the woods because that's where they believed he supposedly lived. They believed that if they committed the murder, they would win Slender Man's approval and would live with him in his hidden mansion. Shortly after the attack, Eric Knudsen felt compelled to make a statement. I am deeply saddened by the tragedy in Wisconsin, and my heart goes out to the families of those affected by this terrible act.
Imagine how shit you must feel having created something that would, like, it's not his fault, obviously, but I'm sure you feel somewhat guilty about it.
Because it inspires them to believe in it and do something like absolutely deplorable.
I would assume that they didn't even like engage with the original something awful post or anything like that. It was being based entirely on that. Yeah, that's not my gut.
Well, I mean, it's like they just made it up, right? At least in all the stories I've read, there's never any lore saying normal people who do black or whatever. Like, it just seems like they had like a nugget to work off of a Slender Man, and then like mental illness or what have you, get the rest.
So, Morgan's actions are considered to be due to her morbid state and schizophrenia. Anissa was also suffering from delusions as well, seemingly bolstered by Morgan's similar mental state and convincing behavior. Both their delusions of Slender Man would feed off each other, resulting in them believing Slender Man was real through pure self-affirmation. Once Anissa was separated from Morgan, her delusions died down, which is usually the case with scenarios like this. and there's usually a primary person who has more severe delusions, and that was Morgan. So Morgan would end up being sentenced to 40 years to life in a mental institution.
Jesus.
As of January 2024, Morgan has requested to be released, and her hearing is scheduled to be in April 2024. Anissa would be sentenced to 25 years in a mental institution, but would end up being released after 7. She was released with multiple stipulations, including a GPS monitor, supervision at all times, and a ban on social media usage. Right now, Anissa's whereabouts are unknown, but it is said she's attending college. In an interview with Peyton conducted by ABC in 2019, when she was asked what she would say to her attackers, she said, "I would probably initially thank her. I would say, just because of what she did, I have the life I have now. I really, really like it, and I have a plan. I didn't have a plan when I was 12, and now I do because of everything that I went through. I wouldn't think that someone who went through that I did. I wouldn't think someone who went through what I did would ever say that. That's truly how I feel. Without the whole situation, I wouldn't be who I am."
I mean,
Well, that's a very positive outlook on a
it's
tragedy.
just,
Yeah.
I'm sure that's like coping with it as well. Which is fair to say. Like you would want to spin it into a positive direction. It should have obviously never happened. This is like a crazy level of delusion from these two individuals that kind of fed off each other. What's crazy to me is the 25 years for one of them as opposed to the 40 years, because from what I've read, they were both very like equally culpable. Like one did the stabbing for sure, but I believe there was a quote like she asked the other one for permission before stabbing her, and the other one said something like to the effect of, "Yeah, do it, go ballistic." So there was like an equal level of dedication and motivation from both individuals in my eyes.
Probably where they were minors, like they had,
Yeah.
psychiatrists rule and be like, this person is very easily suggestive,
Yeah.
right? And the other one seems to be the instigator, so I imagine that's what it came down to.
But in this case, the instigator, the one that said the things like, "Yeah, do it, go ballistic," was the one that was sentenced to 25 years, which I just found a bit odd.
Wasn't I thought Morgan was the more violent one?
She was the more violent one, but there were quotes in that moment where Morgan
I
asked Anissa Wera something to the effect of, "I'll only do it
Yeah.
if you tell me to do it," and then Anissa Wera's like, she says, "Yes, do it, go ballistic."
Yeah, I get it. Likely just comes down to they were minors and it was more of a psychiatric, judging rather
Decision.
than a criminal way.
Yeah. 25 years is a long time.
I mean, yeah, it's a long time to be stuck in somewhere, even if they only did 7.
Yeah. But they're, well, two of them, not two of them. Anissa is out now and apparently in college, and from all accounts, Peyton is living a good life, so that's good. Good outcome for her. As for Morgan, she's still in prison, or not prison, the mental institution. Maybe released later this year. We'll have to see how that goes. But yeah, very, very chilling stuff and a very sad outcome overall to the Slender Man.
Yeah, I remember
Mythos.
when all that was happening, having to convince my parents, like, no, we're not reading stories that tell us to kill our friends. This is just...
Oh yeah, actually I didn't even consider what that might do for like parents and stuff.
Oh yeah, well my parents were like freaked out, and most parents were. They were like, oh no, like, or is this what this is? This is the horror stories you read, like telling you to kill people and stuff. I'm like, no, I don't know where they got this from. This is a one case. It didn't happen again.
It's just mental illness. I can't think of a single other creepypasta that kind of motivated someone to murder.
Momo.
What happened there?
This was
I remember Momo, yeah.
Yeah, parents were
I don't
freaking out because like Momo was telling the kids to hurt themselves.
Yeah.
I think there was a case of someone actually hurt
Well,
themselves.
Yeah, I meant like an actual murder. Or attempted because of a creepypasta.
Oh, well, no, not necessarily, yeah. This is probably super unique in that respect, but it's not unique in the fact that people take creepypasta and think that
Yeah.
they like do something about it in the real world.
Alright, so in conclusion, In an interview with Eric Knudsen talking about the Slender Man, he said that his goal with the character was to make him simple, which is, I can see that. It would
Work at a McDonald's. That's a lot of technical skills, people skills,
Hi, welcome to McDonald's.
and lifelong skills. On the job and off. That one innate will always have.
definitely started pretty simple. He describes the Slender Man as an open source creature. So yeah, kind of like that SCP
Yeah, pretty much.
Foundation. I believe that is a perfect way to describe him. Anyone can look at him and come up with their own motives for him and his own powers. This results in the huge amount of different stories we have about Slender Man. And when you really break the character down, it's just a man with no face. And people are free to give him one.
Well, and tentacles. Tentacles
It's
is
true. The tentacles never come into it though. He just like walks around on them.
No, that's not true. He does use his tentacles in some of the iterations.
Like when? Did he even have tentacles in Slender Man? I don't think.
He did. Well, like when you see him, he didn't do anything though. Like that game fucking super sucks. So what happens is when you see him, it just gets like all staticky and then goes away with a loud noise. So you never. But he does have them there. I'm pretty sure. He just doesn't use them.
I don't remember them. But wasn't there another Slender Man from the Slender Man the 8-page dev? Didn't he release like a sequel to that game like 5 years later?
Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Because looking at Slender the 8 pages, the one that came out, it doesn't look like he has tentacles most of the time.
Yeah, Slender the Arrival. So there was I don't know if it's by the same dev, but they made a Slender the Arrival game, which
Yeah,
was
I think that's what I'm thinking of.
wow. It's got it's got 88% positive rating on Steam. Did you ever play it?
Slender Arrival? Yeah.
Was it good?
I don't remember. Probably not.
People liked it for the
88.
time. It was a lot more complex than 8 pages.
Well, yeah, you couldn't get much less complex. than
Well,
the
I mean,
8
like you
pages.
went to different locations, and there was a story, and there was objectives and stuff like that. It was a lot higher regarded.
Yeah, 88% on Steam. All the recent reviews are 100%, so it's doing well. Interesting. I forgot about that like sequel. So
That's kind of the whole story of Slender Man.
It's
Yeah.
interesting how we went from like a few posts of just, oh, there's this creepy figure, and it's kind of like an open and shut story in that. But then it became so much more. It became video games, it became movies, it became ARGs, it even became a news report with a stabbing. Like, it's really wild how much this little corner of the internet exploded. But I'm thankful that it did, because there's probably a direct path to be traced from me reading about Slender Man when I was like 11 to me here now. So.
yeah, I mean it's definitely meant a lot to a lot of people. Some bad, but it, like you said, it's absolutely crazy that a small post on an internet forum spread this far, like, and this wide, and had this kind of impact just from some photoshopped images. Very impressive kind of example of how the internet can be used to spread these kind of tall tales and have that kind of impact. I love the Slender Man. I think it's one of the most entertaining aspects of the internet when stuff like that happens.
What's up,
So, I'm a
dude?
big fan.
What's going
Do you guys
on?
want to say anything else about Slender Man before we wrap?
Not necessarily.
So did you have fun playing Apex last night? Because I wasn't. I don't like Apex. No, that's not Jeremy. I was listening to a podcast. Yeah, me too. Fuck. I do like R6 more than Apex. Because I actually know what I'm doing in R6. The guns actually shoot well. I put crosshair on man and men die. Gotta be more in here. And I need to get the fucking map. I keep on getting distracted. Oh, fuck. I hate this part. Just avoid the scary man. Ah. I don't need more fucking things. I don't even use that much magic. Yeah, I do not like these guys. Every character I've ever made has been super weak to fucking Deathblight. So these guys just kick my ass all the time. I don't even bother with them. Man, how... Why couldn't they just make this game, but instead of having, like, the summoning from, like, Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, they could just have players running around. Like, you just join a server and there's players all over the place. The fucking map is big enough. Why not? Yeah, that's what I thought they meant when they said open world. So that kind of disappointed me a little bit. But other than that, that's really like the only like real gripe I have with this game. Okay, got map. Just keep going, I guess. This is not where I want it to be. Hello. Oh god. Whoops. I guess I can't fucking frost them. Oh, that is not what I wanted to do. Oh, he finally got frosted. Oh, maybe not. Oh. Ooh. I don't like war cry though. Oh, I can change it. Hmm. I'll give that a shot. See how far I can upgrade it without wasting shit. Got him. No being in your. God damn it.
You. Please. I can read them. Your fingers. Please, your.
I already fought Morgot over here. There's stuff. Need stuff. Look like there's stuff.
Is someone there? A customer? Well...
Hmm. Huh. Okay. Fight the bell-bearing hunter. Last time. Nightfall. I swore a bell-bearing hunter spawned right there. What? Oh, fuck. Oh. Fucking hell, dude. I'm dead. Stupid snails. Did you know you can one-shot this guy with holy pots? Bet you didn't. Motherfucker, I'm not prepared for this right now. Stupid fucking death snails, dude. Okay, I have to quickly kill all the snails. Wait, oh, nightfall again? I'll see if I can make holy pots. Good holy pots, not shitty. Holy water pots, no. Man, I could try them. also gotta break those fucking oil pots. Let's try this again. Death birds are very hard, and I am not very tanky. So I'll give this 1 or 2 more goes. Then I'll go fight the tree sentinel or whatever the fuck. Find the snails, kill the snails. Lead them away from the snails. Work too. I'll not one-shot him, but that is really fucking good damage. Fuck. Okay. Stop bagging away. You want me to go back to the fucking death turtles or whatever the fuck. Got him. Okay.
Spoken echoes of Queen Marika linger here as well. Shall I share them with you? In Marika's own words, hear me, demigods. My children, beloved, make of thyselves that which ye desire. Be it a lord, be it a god. But should ye fail to become aught at all, ye will be forsaken, amounting only to sacrifices.
Kind of fucked up. Oh, no, not really. If you're a failure, you're a fucking failure. Gotcha. We will kill you. Okay, let's go fight the church tunnel. Sentinel. Now, you could just use poison and, like, stand over here and watch them die. But I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna fight them. I'm gonna buff her. Yo, what's up? Oh god. Killed my bird. Ow. Oh god. Happy Easter, by the way. Oh, I'm dead. Man, I couldn't even get up. Alright. Oh yeah, go for it. I'm fine with everyone just chilling. Oh, it's the Confessors. It's the Confessors, starting gear. It's pretty good. It's not the best starting armor, but it's pretty good. It's definitely really good for how light it is. Yeah, get fucked, horse, man. Oh, fuck. I think I'm gonna respect my guy, though. I kind of wanted to do arcane, but I don't know any, like, good arcane stuff. And faith can, like, carry you through the first half of the game. I'll find something. Oh. The Danny Phantom Killer.
To YouTube and motivate. Everyone acts differently when nobody's looking. The fact that no one will know makes us comfortable and allows us to entertain all sorts of What happens if someone spends years or even decades without engaging meaningfully with another person? What sort of dark recesses and warped beliefs does their mind access if they feel nobody cares either way? That's what we'll discover by learning the grim story of Randy Stair, a man whose isolation led to a bizarre obsession with Danny Phantom fan characters and ultimately
You become a Twitch streamer, that's what happens.
24-year-old Randy Randy's Stair.
YouTube videos of Stair preparing for the attack.
It's fate. It's destiny.
It's me, Randy. Randy Stair.
What happened? What the fuck happened, man? I swear to goddess.
Every time I get to look at the clock, I always see her.
I got it! 2 Mossberg 500 shotguns!
Oh, great.
If you're watching this, I'm dead. I'm sorry.
Very little is known about Randy's personal life other than what he said about it himself. In a way, this is revealing. Until the very last moments of his life, no one cared about...
My utmost thanks for bringing me to the base of the Erd Tree. Here, I can govern my own movement, and thus, the accord is fulfilled. I shall depart to ascertain the purpose I was given. Farewell. I shall leave Torrent, and the power to turn runes into strength. Here, with you. I wish you luck in realizing your ambition. You have fought long and hard. I have no doubt you will become Elden Lord. May you take the throne.
Now, I have a problem with this part right here. Okay. Because she goes off, she realizes, oh, I can't actually fucking do it, and then she comes back. Why? Yeah, this is about 2 hours. That's good enough for YouTube. I'm just gonna restart stream real quick. Be right back. And I'm also gonna eat.